Okay, so we are now on our third question, which is, does increasing the number of cells increases the capacity? So what you can see here is two persons making conversation to each other. Imagine one is in the center of radio system, one is the base station, and the other is one is terminal. Uh, in the given rectangular area, there is one base station and one more terminal communicating with each other. Of course, this mobile terminal where they send their signal to their base station, and base station will deliver this signal to the other base station. But this given area, assuming the capacity of this base station is just equal to 1, meaning that one mobile only can be supported. But what if uh, this given area happens to demand a more number of communication pairs? So a demanding communication pair will be increasing or demanding such communication with the world increasing. Then the only thing that we can do is, or the direct solution that we can do is actually increase the number of creative vision. For example, in the given area, we could put more base station like this. So in the given rectangular area, we put 4 base station, which is 4 times the number of base stations. Each will support one more terminal. So for the very happy case, kasi uh, mas dumami na yung capacity or yung number of successful communicating pairs. So this given area can now support 4 mobile terminals simultaneously by installing 4 base station. However, if they are using the same radio channel, each base station will make some interference from each other. So if the interference level is still acceptable, we can support 4 times number of mobiles, 4 times number of mobile terminals in the given area. Well, of course, in the radio communication signal, the signal power will decrease as the radio signal travel from distances. Siyempre, alam mo naman natin na for example, malayo ka doon sa tower or dun sa base station, siyempre, hihina yung signal mo. So, the signal power will be decreasing very rapidly. And in engineering terms, this is called path loss. So the path loss is actually denoted by some number like 3, 4, 5, or 6. So as number goes to large, the pathless amount will be larger. So the signal power will be decreasing very rapidly. So in the cellular radio system, as pathless become large, perhaps interference will be small. So the installation of 4 base station will support 4 mobile terminals simultaneously. That means in the end, we can support 4 times the capacity compared to the original case where we have some one mobile terminal, one base station. Well, in network, this is called the cell splitting technique. One cell is splitting to multiple cells. But the question here is, does increasing the base station 10 times or some more number of base that will be installed, then capacitor will still be increasing. So that is actually our fundamental questions in this slide sense. So well, you see actually in the closed area, the users actually are located randomly. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base stations. Then we want to increase the base station density to support user demand. Syempre, dadami yung user mo. So, a tendency is perhaps you can increase the base station. So, not only we have a base station intensity, so as you can see in the second picture, uh, let us say the base station are triple, maybe 15. So 3 times the capacity has been increased compared to the original. So the question is whether this increasing number of base station will increase the capacity linearly or in other ways. So, syempre, pag nag-increase yung number ng base station mo, of course, nag-increase din yung number na capacity na nagre-reach doon sa iyong base station. So, another way of making such question is, will capacity increase if the installation of more base station will also generates interference? Okay, so mag-i-increase pa din daw ba yung capacity kahit if the installation of more base stations will also generate interference. Siyempre, pag dami ng iyong base station, pag taas din ng level ng iyong interference. So, when you increase the base station, then the distance between mobile terminal and base, syempre, will be shrinking kasi mas lalapit na sila doon sa mobile terminals kasi dumami na yung ating base station. So, base station is ito. Yan. So, ito yung mga mobile terminals. Siyempre, pag dami ng base station, paglapit nila sa mga mobile terminals. But at the same time, the interference from the other bases will also be increasing. Siyempre, mas dadami sila, mas dadami yung communication pairs, so mas tataas yung level ng interference. So, we cannot answer directly whether such capacity increase will be in which formula. So, if we go to the next picture, after some accurate calculations, found that the capacity increase will be such a logarithmic scale. So, if you see, if you at this plot thing, here the horizontal x-axis is for the number of base station. So, yun yung x-axis natin per given area, while in the y-axis, or the vertical line, shows the area capacity in a given area. So, how many mobile terminals can you support simultaneously? So, you see different plotting here. First curve and second curve and the other curve. And this plotting is all based on the level of the interference filtering or level of the power decrease when the wireless waves that travels over distance. So as it becomes high, you have more capacity. Why? Because interference will be much more filtered than it would be reduced. But in any curve, you see patterns in the beginning. When you install more base stations, the increment will be proportional to the base station intensity. Then you increase, but however, as it increases more, the area capacity will be saturated like this function. So radio system has been evolved over this couple of decades. So we start with the first generation system, then the second generation, third, and future NOR systems. So currently we are in the fifth generation system. And according to the area capacity, according to the base station intensity, we can divide each generation in this region. First, second, up to the third. When you increase more base station, the capacity will increase linearly. So they are very much proportionate to the base station density, the capacity, and base station denses are very much linear proportional to each other. But however, as system becomes 4G or 5G, so na-introduce na sa atin ngayon yung 5G, we can understand that as they increase more base station, area capacity will increase not as but with the logarithmic function. That means there is some saturation at the point. So of course, as there are more base stations, the capacity will increase, but increasing speed will be very much slow. Kasi kahit madaming base station ang ilagay dyan at madami pa rin naman yung mobile terminals or yung capacity na or yung number of communicating pairs na gustong pumasok doon sa iyong base station. So, yung speed ng data transfer will also be slow. So, we're actually preparing, not actually preparing, we are now in the world of 5G system. So, where user demand becomes increasing day by day, so the answer is installation of more base station is not enough because with such low user demand increase, so we need to have other way of technique to improve the capacity or to improve the area capacity that will handle that will be handled in the next question. So, kaya hindi sagot ang pagkakaroon ng more based station kasi tataas din naman yung level of interference kasi dadami nga yung base station mo, dadami yung level of communicating pairs mo. That's why tataas yung level of interference. So, in the next video, uh, this will explain how does 5G works. So, syempre, mas updated na yung kanyang or mas mataas na yung level of innovation na inilagay sa kanya compared dun sa ating 4G. So, let's move on to the next video para mas ma-feel natin ano ba talaga yung meron doon sa 5G.